Hello again, everyone. We are Gaming by Gaslight, and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. It's been a little while, but with the agricultural update out, and, well, having been out for a little while, and also with, with us having played a little bit on stream, I felt like, why not come back in and maybe make a video or two. So, when we last left off on the stream, we had sort of set up this basic starting point for what will hopefully be a functional and thriving colony. We will, I guess, see as we go on. The general idea here is we have our living quarters, we have this sort of random area here, we've got our mess hall, we've got our farm, which is definitely not as good as it could be. I cannot irrigate because we don't have everything set to be properly irrigated as of yet. We'll set up some kind of appropriate water thing for that. But let's, for now, let's start time going just so that we get everything to recognize that it should in fact get picked up. Let's see. Apparently we are not doing research, so let's see. What would be a good bit of research? I guess power regulation might be useful. Heavy watt wire. I've never really found a need for this. But then again, I suppose it is possible for things to, I guess, explode. Though I have, like I said, I haven't really run into that particular issue yet. Alright, let's go with the water purifier, because our plan today is to start off on the road towards actually appropriately sort of really like boxing this in, creating proper buildings and the like. And effectively, we've got the beginnings of our infinite sort of power plant here. Very beginnings. Polluted water, we'll have to do something with that. We can harvest that. My big thought here is that what we really need, and I'll just let time tick by, I guess, while we're sort of doing this, is we're gonna have to, well, we gotta work on this, for one, and for two, we're gonna need a proper, like, actual carbon, like, dumping ground somewhere. And then we'll run, like, a carbon filter there, because this is outputting carbon, but as you can see, it's overpressured. There is too much pressure in this space, which is obviously not particularly good. It means this can't actually do anything. It's probably all still burning power. So perhaps what I might do, actually, now that I think about it, is maybe I've got some crazy ideas here. Crazy, very crazy ideas. Let's like dig down and expand this a little bit. I mean, this is not necessarily the brightest idea, and we should probably do something about this, but my thought process is if we create an actual gap. Well, let's just let things go, and my thought process here is, again, gapping. This also should probably be sealed off from here, because this is going to put in all kinds of bad gases as well. So that's not necessarily good. Plus, there's really no air being produced down here. This little carbon filter is not going to be enough. Most likely. But this area, like, I'm not doing anything down here, so perhaps what I should do is open this up, make an airlock, and that will... Oh, and people are getting soggy feet and other horrible, horrible conditions here, so we probably want to do something about that as well. Once we get the apothecary, which we will eventually. But for now, I don't think disease really has a major dramatic effect on our duplicants, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Alright. Yeah. My thought process here is, again, let's try to maybe dig this out a little bit. And eventually we'll get things appropriately, like, locked. Sopping wet, huh? That's a problem, is it? Didn't realize that would be a problem, but apparently it can be. I mean, I suppose that makes us... Oh, good, they actually will walk horizontally down at the bottom of the ocean. You guys could come back up... There you go, come back up to breathe, if you don't mind. Whereas I'm actually setting them in a really bad position for living, aren't I? Because they have to hold their breath to get down there, and they have to hold their breath to get back up. So, yeah. My plan eventually is to airlock this whole thing and then actually fill it with air. Eventually. Eventually I will make this not a completely terrible place for our duplicants. Just like I'm gonna try to get these puffs over here to eventually get over here. Actually, is there any way I could easily do that now, I wonder to myself? The answer is not really. Not easily, anyway. But if I could get my puffs down here, because they consume polluted oxygen, which would be good for this. Alright, so what do we really need to do? There's a couple of things. One, we do need that carbon trap for that. This hydrogen will be useful at some point as well. We need to at some point get our way up here, because this is going to provide us with infinite water, which is always good. So, let's see, how are we going to appropriately do this? I guess... Well, I suppose if I do this, like this, like this, we might be able to get something going here whereby we sort of create a little hooky thing right here. I mean, we're still gonna have to fix this because this is trench stench, huh? What does that really do for you? Presumably it causes stress. Let's see here, details. Trench stench, what does this do? Oh, it only lasts for a certain amount of time. However, I notice there is a lot of polluted oxygen filtering up here. It's at this point that I really wish there was still that, like, gas filter so that I could more easily see these things. Okay, so, yeah, we have problems, basically, is what we're seeing here. A couple of air deodorizers might help with that, because, I mean, all the polluted oxygen is coming up from here. What do I need for you? Oh, I can't build it there because there's a door there, you silly man. Alright, so let's build a couple of air deodorizers, just kind of sprinkle them around. And hopefully that proves effective. Yeah, we'll just do it like that for the time being, and we'll see how that works out for us. That might help filter things a little bit, but we do need, like, proper means of getting rid of this. Like, for instance, I should probably move this somewhere and seal it off from the rest of the base. Much to learn, really. Much to learn. But we'll get there in due course. Or at least that's what I keep telling myself. We'll find out, I guess, eventually. Whether my madness will actually eventually turn itself into something useful. And it's not terrible, the situation we've got here. Polluted oxygen. Why is it polluted in here, I wonder? Well, it's, again, like it's all filtering up from there, and we've got all this stuff going on. But... yeah. Anyway, it's all stuff, it's problems that will solve themselves eventually, maybe. And once we get everything kind of stabilized, we'll be able to get a nice, appropriate thing going. Alright, there we go. Actually, I suppose what I should do now is maybe... because they're still going this way. Let's get rid of this. That way it'll force them to go this way. Then we can stick an airlock here. Or not. Alright, we'll just seal this off for now. That'll do. That way we can start making this an appropriate fixture. At least that's the general hope, really, is that we'll get everything to fit, more or less. What do we got now? We have our additional plumbing, we have stuff like that. We do need to get bleach stone so we can make hand sanitizer and other things. But again, I'm not going to worry about that too much just yet. Actually, here's an interesting thought. Is sand something that we can produce? Because eventually, I imagine this, polluted dirt, huh? Yes, we'll have to worry about that as well. We've got our biodistiller. We're going to need to set up probably like a shower area for our duplicants as well at some point in the future. A lot of stuff we're going to have to figure out, but we'll get there. How did you guys get up there? Oh, obviously you came through this way. Right. Alright, well, carry on then. Alright. Again, big trench is what we're trying to dig out here. And actually, you know what? I want to move all of this into here at some point. This will be our big storage receptacle type thing. So, with that in mind, let's actually kind of adjust the priorities here. Let's make this 9, and this only an 8. That way they'll hopefully dig all this out first. Yeah, I'll just put a pump down here. That would be much easier. Much easier indeed. So let's do that. Alright. Let's kind of run that down there, and then we'll just stick the pump all the way down here. There we go, and then we'll pump the water in here. This will be our carbon trap. We'll eventually do something with this to make it not ugly as all sin. And, yeah, everything will kind of come together in a something that resembles an effective manner. In due time. In due time. Alright, so liquid pump goes down here. At the very bottom. Liquid pipe, which we shall then run. Right, that would actually be problematic, so we'll kind of run it in a very extremely redundant fashion. And then through here, and then through here, where we have our liquid vent. There, alright. That should come together in some fashion that resembles functional. Don't need that. And as for priorities, right, make everything maximum priority. Which again, if you maximize the priorities of everything, then nothing actually gets done, but oh well, that's not my problem. Oh, we also probably need power looking into that thing, don't we? Alright, we're slowly getting there. Very slowly, mind you. Electrical wire. Let's kind of plug that into... Actually, that's better. Cancel only the wires. There we go. Alright, that worked out nicely. Probably, possibly. Actually, hang on a second. Oh, it actually is almost all... Of course, then again, this whole area is nothing but carbon. Maybe I should just open this area up, and that will be our carbon sink. We'll pump all the carbon out here. This area that we don't care about that much anyway. Actually, let's make this 8 priority. That way they sort of do it... They sort of do it, but not before digging up. Or putting this flooring in. Alright, good. I'm reasonably satisfied with our progress here. Reasonably satisfied. There we go. Okay. It's all coming together now. It's exactly what I like to see. Okay. Yeah, it's just waiting for its batteries. We've got our power still being generated all the way over here. This is actually probably one of the worst bases of all time, but it's functional somehow. Somehow it's very functional. And by somehow, I mean it's not at all functional, but it is. It's somehow not collapsing upon itself in a gigantic black hole of failure, so works out good enough for me. Alright, that just needs to actually get built, and then we can get stuff going there. I'll need to relocate that. But overall, I mean, aside from the fact that we are in a somewhat difficult situation as far as, like, appropriate... Ooh, there's a whole coal thing going on over here. That's good. At some point, we're also going to want to explore with designing something resembling an appropriate functional system. Let's see here. Air scrubber. So yeah, we'll filter all carbon dioxide over here. Makes sense to me. And what do we need for this? It requires water, carbon dioxide. It puts out polluted water, so basically we'll need to put this into a water filter. Actually, I have heard that apparently you now need like a polluted water tank, because if you just pump the wastewater directly into the water purifier, it won't work or something. So we'll have to see if that's actually the case. Right. Very slowly, this is working out. Might actually want to make something here that'll actually pump. Well, then again, if I fill this whole thing, I could actually probably even seal this in now, and it'll be fine. Possibly. Alright. This can be deconstructed. And instead, let's see if we can actually get this working today. That will be our goal. So we've got our gas vent. We'll pump all the CO2 in here. Might as well pump it immediately down into the lowest, or second lowest. We'll pump it right there, basically. Put the air scrubber here. And then back to our plumbing. Get our gas pipe. Okay, so instead of being here, this will go up here. And also, just kind of follow this for the time being. We'll probably try to, like, put it... Actually, yeah, we'll just kind of put it in here. Like so. And then it'll go in there. Alright. Problem solved. So we'll pump all the CO2 in here, so that means this will actually produce power for us. And this will eventually start pumping out water. So we're going to need, like, a polluted or a polluted water place. I mean, I suppose we could pump the polluted water in here, and then, like, dig all this out. Then pump this water into the filterizer thingy-mabob. Alright. It's slowly coming together. Maybe I'll pump all the water out of this. This will become our polluted thing. And we are going to want to, like, seal stuff off, so eventually we are actually storing oxygen in places where oxygen should, in fact, be stored. But it'll all come together in due time. Let's research the med bay while we're waiting. And let's see if we can get this to come together. Which I have every confidence it will. And you know what? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Who was at 70%? Abe? Okay, everyone's, like, falling apart here all of a sudden. I didn't even notice that. Okay. Let's set this stuff to be... Okay, never mind. Wow. It's all... I assume this is because Abe is probably... What's your problem, Abe? You are crying. Alright, let's see here. Stress. It is actually going down. Let's see. Soggy feet causes problems. Interrupted sleep. Alright. So yeah, people being dirty, understandably, makes them a little cranky. I guess I can understand that. Alright, we'll get around to this eventually. Eventually we'll have enough plants for this. I mean, I know we can't irrigate it because it's not actually an irrigated tile. Let's see. For nutrients, harvest rating is only a... Oh, here's where we see it. Let's see here. Fertilized, standard temperature, ideal pressure. Alright, so it is actually going up. So the predicted harvest rating is 4.8. So I do actually want to get this stuff appropriately. But what is its ideal temperature? Its ideal temperature is... what is its ideal temperature? No, that's its current temperature. What's its ideal temperature? Come on, tell me that. Why am I not seeing this? It melts at 9,000 degrees. That's interesting to note. Alright, basic ingredients are being met. And that's good. So it's going to get a good yield. That is nice. But why are you not telling me your ideal temperature? I'm sure I saw it mentioned in here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Let's see here. Alright. Oh, geez, I have to actually get it to 80 plus in order to actually get more seeds? That's actually useful to note. Maybe I should, in fact, stop growing these things until I can... Let's see here. Temperature, 18 to 22. Temperature in here is... Oh. The temperature in here is a little too high, you say. Okay. Alright, that is actually good to know. So, with that in mind, how do we lower its temperature? Cools the gas. Okay, that's not what we need. Dissipates a small amount of heat. We might want this thing. Alright. Good to note. Okay. We're gonna want more seeds. Thus, preventing the total collapse of our system. Because naturally, we don't really want our system to collapse on itself. Alright. Oh, we actually have no seeds available. Okay. Well, no, we'll leave it like that for now, because we can acquire more seeds on the map. And eventually it'll come together. Plus we have plenty of food, so it would appear that we're okay. Yeah, just continue making lice loaves as often as you can. Alright. So Abe is not in a particularly good position. Oh, no wonder this is not actually getting anything done. It's because we don't have it on. Alright, turn that on. This will get finished. We'll start pumping this stuff. It'll be fine. It'll be good. Alright. Perfectly fine. Everything is working out exactly as we have foreseen. More or less, anyway. Of course, my question is, do you think we'll be able to reach this? That is a good question. You know, to be safe, let's actually build a ladder that kind of crosses this whole thing. That way also we can extend this if the need should ever arise. Alright. That's good. Good stuff. We have unrefrigerated food. Now we don't. Okay, that's good. Got all our fertilizer. We got all of this. People are taking care of themselves. That's actually good. Man, that, oh, that doesn't update in real time. I see. Alright. Well, at least you're getting yourself fixed. There we go. That's good. Okay. So, yeah, Abe, you can probably get back to work now. I would appreciate that. Silly old Abe. Anyway, let's kind of just fast forward until we get to this, and I will see you guys momentarily. Alright, so we have in fact got this thing pumping, and eventually we're gonna properly seal all this off so that we're only pumping oxygen where we really want it to go. Like, for instance, we probably don't need it going down this particular corridor right here, and we might eventually. And also, this is getting kind of wasted down here, but eventually I figure we'll kind of carve in here, and we'll have to be careful about that because there's a bunch of chlorine gas here and we don't want to liquefy our lungs. But for the time being, things are actually turning out not so bad. I mean, we've got power going here, which means we probably don't need to use these. I'll set the power threshold down to something a little lower. There we go. Though, on the other hand, these are actually also completely charged, so let's actually, let's queue up a couple more batteries while we're kind of just sitting here waiting. There we go. That is how we're going to wrap things up for this particular episode, I think. So, effectively, we have ourselves a nice beginning here. It's all very ugly and very, like, not optimal. But my thought process here, and we are actually getting rid of the polluted oxygen very slowly, so that's good. So, the idea is we'll fix that, we'll get this to be much better, we will continue using this to create our power. We might actually want to create some kind of switch thing with this so we can just turn it off when the batteries are full. I believe there's something we can do with that, but we'll fiddle around with that later. For now, however, I think we've got a good start. All the keys, the pieces for a functional society are here. We just need to put them all together. So, with that in mind, that's going to do it for this episode, as I've said like 5,000 times by now. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button or maybe leave me a comment down below to let me know what you're thinking. And I will see all you in the next video.